Namaskar. Welcome to episode 350 of Daily Global Insights. I'm your host Sri Iyer and I'm joined by my co-host Sridhar Chityalaji. Sridharji, namaskar and welcome to 350 episode of Daily Global Insights, sir.
Namaskar and good morning to everybody, and looking forward to another good session.
Sridharji, let us start straight with the stock market. It has crashed close to 800 points as we speak now. And was this all because of the inflation numbers, sir, or was there anything else beyond that?
No, it's pure inflation. The markets had priced in a 0.1% reduction on the back of lower gas prices, plus some reduction in the other prices such as food and other items. But lo and behold, I think the report has come the other way, which is the inflation is up 0.1%. The amazing truth here is that the core inflation, which excludes food and gas prices, was month over month up 0.6%. So that indicates basically there are other drivers in the economy which drove the prices up. Could be rentals, could be real estate issues, so many other we are still parsing the data. And that clearly markets have panicked and basically said, the markets are not going, the inflation is not going the right way. We can expect more aggressive stance taken by the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve here. So that is why the prices are going. That's why the stock market is, 480 out of the 500 stocks have shown red light or red symbol, showing that means that they're down as we speak in the markets.
And the next possible rate hike is when?
This month. This month
Okay.
is the first of the series, and probably next one could happen as close as mid-December. But clearly, there's now whether they will do 0.75 basis points or even 100 basis points remains to be seen, because the Fed has made it very clear that they're going to be maniacal in the focus in terms of bringing down the inflation. Another issue that is looming is with the onset of the winter, what exactly the Russians are going to do on the energy prices. So that's another headwind that is looming out there.
Sridharji, right now, the Russians have stopped sending gas on Nord Stream 1. Nord Stream 2 has not even been started. So essentially, they have turned off the gas. How do you think Europe is going to cope? And also, would this be a last desperate attempt by Russia to somehow save face, sir? Because now we know for sure Ukraine is making advances, probably even inside Russia now.
Well, I think that how will the Russians react? I think the predictability of Russian course is very hard. But one thing is guaranteed: they will try to extract as much as possible from the Europeans. And the Europeans are not united in their stance in terms of how they want to deal with this issue. There can also be potential local, domestic pressure brewing, from various countries, impacted by the cold wave and loss of power and loss of energy within the domestic market. So my view is that Russia will turn the screws on. Whether Europe will succumb and concede to some extent to the Russian demand remains to be seen. As far as how they are trying to come up with some kind of a rationing system whereby they can preserve and dispense the gas, and also giving some concessions on their energy bills. It's almost, I remember we talked about this, a form of stimulus. So at least people don't feel the impact on their personal balance sheets. But these are not immediate measures. The long-term measures, as we said, Germany, for example, is going back to nuclear. Some of the European states are looking at rebooting their coal plants. And they've been trying to source coal from places like Indonesia and Africa. So you may begin to see some of these kinds of programs come into effect from medium to long-term, short-term to medium-term basis, until they rebalance their energy supply.
Sir, one-line answer for the SEO summit starting tomorrow. One of the panelists or one of the specialists that came on our channel said that Xi Jinping will not leave China and come and meet Putin in Uzbekistan. Your call, sir.
He will attend.
Okay. And because?
He will attend because I think he has a personal invitation from Mr. Vladimir, number one. I'm not saying that that's just a personal invitation. It is intended that both Russia and China will jointly show to the world that they are an alternative to the hegemony that has prevailed thus far.
And viewers, we're going to go to India in just a moment, but there's some breaking news from the United States. The Homeland Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, might be impeached, according to some sources, because the ambassador to Mexico has called for his impeachment or resignation. Sridharji, it has been a mess for now close to 18 months. Why now?
There are actually three reasons. First and foremost, there is a brewing case that has been building up around a number of things, which is number one, the continued infiltration. That's the first. Second, additional requirement for money that is likely to be sanctioned and funded through FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Act. So therefore, through FEMA, they're going to fund non-profits for
Sir, I think
support.
it's agency. FEMA is
Agency. Sorry, Federal Emergency Management Agency. They're going to fund the programs through FEMA. And the third is that it appears that even the government is now ferrying these people across various parts of United States, and there has been no enforcement. So along with a number of GOP senators, now there's a voice from the ex-diplomatic cadre to state that this guy has failed to protect the sovereignty of the nation, so he is imminently impeachable.
Sir, Ukraine may be one thing that he can claim as a win, that is Joe Biden, for the 2022 November elections. Overall, do you think that the needle has shifted or the needle has moved, or do you still predict a Republican majority for Congress and Senate, sir?
No, first, I think there are two different questions. One is how is Biden? I think Biden is continually slipping in the poll. Many of his programs haven't, worked, which everybody is aware, and based on own Democratic polling numbers, and some of the what you call as the borderline or susceptible Democrats or vulnerable Democrats have tried to stay away from Mr. Biden. As far as the Senate seats are concerned, that goes down to the wire in terms of the candidates contesting in the various elections. Still, the poll says, the Democrats could still retain the Senate, and it is going to be an uphill battle for the Republicans to gain control of the Senate. For example, as we speak, there is, Marco Rubio looks fairly doubtful, or he can expect a very strong race from his constituency in Florida.
So, one thing that I forgot to mention, sir, South Korea's Prime Minister Moon, his visit to the Europe, what do you think is the significance of that? And then we'll go to India and then we'll wrap up, sir.
His significance is that he is building a case in the event of North Korea going ahead with its proliferation of its nuclear detonation, which apparently his date is somewhere between October 10th and 14th. So should he do so, then he needs a coalition of the world leadership as to effectively respond to North Korean threat.
Solar powered highways. That's what India is dreaming of building. And for that, it is now reaching out to investors in the United States to try and fund this project. Quickly, Sridharji, share your thoughts. What is a solar powered highway, and what do you think are the chances of India being able to raise this money, sir?
Well, India is building a new infrastructure, right? So, which is namely all this infrastructure requires tremendous amount of lighting and other requirements for supplying energy to various outlets that come along in the highways. I mean, if you are driving along highways in the United States, you know that you have various gas stations and eating malls and other types of facilities that come up in these long highways. They all need to be powered. So therefore, these are absolutely new highways that are being built. So you need the infrastructure. So there's the best way to do it is India is an imminent or is a big solar power. So you need financial capital to build these roadways as well as the energy requirements to support this infrastructure. So the best way to fund it is to ask the investors to fund, because they are all going to have tolls. So in other words, people are going to pay for some of these things as they use these facilities. And generally, I believe that India has received in some kind of tacit support from both private equity and pension funds, and also asset managers, to support an annuity-based or a fee-based program as it rolls out its infrastructure. So I think that India will get very good support.
Thank you very much, Sridharji. And that brings us to a close of today's Daily Global Insights. We'll be back again tomorrow. I don't know about the time. It depends upon Sridharji's convenience because he's traveling. But it will be either 6 p.m. or perhaps 8 p.m. We don't know for sure. We'll tweet it out. Thank you very much, Sridharji. Namaskar, and we'll be back tomorrow, sir.
Thank you, namaskar, and have a wonderful day.